Hello, everybody. Another absolutely gorgeous morning for our pep talk. So, out here in the backyard. Um, just wanted to share with you, I am so excited. 2 weeks ago, the pep talk was about branding your year. And then last week, it was about opening meetings. And I've been working with many of you on your topics and coming up with your brand and a hashtag for the year. And it's just so exciting. All of the ideas that you have are absolutely amazing. And if you didn't get a chance to check out those videos, they are on Facebook, on our Facebook page, or also on our YouTube channel, the Instructional Leadership channel. So check them out and make sure to share in the comments. I'd love to hear what your brand, what your topic is going to be. If you have a hashtag for the year, I'd love to hear that. So I'm Jenny Hensley, co-owner and effectiveness coach with Dynamics. Our goal is to help you reclaim your time so you can reclaim your life and love your work. Today's topic is really going to be a challenge and kind of an experiment. We do training and coaching with people. We've done thousands have trained thousands of people in how to have more effective and efficient meetings, and the goal is to have, and there's several videos about this, but we always encourage you to have very few agenda items and get into them in depth and have the team be active. If you're going to do something in a meeting, have the team be active. So we say no more than 3 to 5 agenda items and have a process for every agenda item, which takes time because you're gathering input, giving feedback. But inevitably, we get the question after we've done the training or facilitated, helped people plan. After 2 or 3 meetings, people are loving the meetings. They're interactive. They feel like they're accomplishing things. They feel like they're providing good input. But the leaders say, when are we going to get the real work done? And by real work, they mean things that used to be on the agenda, announcements, things that people need to know, but they don't need to be, that they don't need to have interaction on. So that laundry list of things that is on a typical agenda that you just talk at people. And just a side note, we've said it before 100 times, but the research shows that an adult can attend or listen to somebody talking at them, pay attention for around 5 to 7 minutes. So that's why we say you shouldn't just have agenda items that you're doing announcements, because it really doesn't benefit you, because some of them aren't listening anyway if you go over 5 minutes. So I tried to come up with an idea. We've in the past really talked about, encouraged you to, if you can send it in an email, send it in an email. And then people have a concern about people aren't going to read the email. So we're going to talk about a different strategy. But if you want to use the same strategy with an email, that's absolutely fine. The key is when somebody comes to you with a question, you need to refer them back to the email. And this is going to be the same thing with the topic that I'm going to share with you today, which is what we're going to call the Real Work Hub. But the same is true. So this is just another way for you to get that information across, and because it is important. When we're saying it shouldn't be on a meeting agenda, we're not saying it isn't important. We're not saying bus duty or lunch times or these field trips. These things are important. And if there is a decision to be made and you need input from the team, then absolutely, if that's an important thing that's going on, then that should be on the agenda. But when there are a list of things, especially now at the beginning of the year, that you have to get across, this is just a way to do it. So I think that the first thing is to create a shared document. Many of you are using Google Classroom, Google Drive, and have shared Google documents that you have with your team already. Whatever you choose to use, Google is just an example. It needs to be shared, obviously, so everybody can access it. It needs to be searchable, because my goal with this, and the way this is going to be different from an email, is that it's going to just keep growing. So if it's a Google Sheet or a Google document, you may have different pages. one for each month or something like that, however you decide to organize it. And you want people to be able to search um, bus duty or schedules so that they can find it. So it needs to be shared, it needs to be searchable, and it needs to be organized. I talked a little bit about that, but what's the best way for you to organize it? Do you want to just have one document that continues to grow? Do you want to have a separate page for each month, each date, each, I don't know, however you want to, but make sure that it's consistent and it's organized. I think that I'm calling it the Real Work Hub because rather than calling it a document, I would love for this to have all the support materials in one place. So links to documents. I think you could do. People are loving really, really short, minute or less videos. Sometimes it's easier to just get on your phone and make a minute video than it is to type something out. And you could link those videos. So rather than saying something or telling people something 100 times, you're recording it once and people know where to find the answer. So I would have the support materials in there. You are going to have to take time in a meeting to train people how to use it. So there's going to be some sort of training, show them how to get there. Don't assume that they can. Explain how it's going to be organized. I don't think this has to be really long, but so you have a support materials training, and then I think it's important to have a schedule that people know it's going to come out once a week, every other week, just they know when it's going to be there. So that's really the idea. And I think some of you are already doing this, and if you are, I would love it if you would share in the comments, because I think it just helps. We'll help each other with this. I'd like you to share how it's going. Is it working? And also, if you have another way to get this information across beyond being an email or a handout or a shared document, then please share that, because this is an ongoing challenge that we have, and I think the more solutions, the better. So try it out, the Real Work Hub. Most important, though, and I said this already, most important is when they come to you. I'm just going to repeat it. When people come to you and ask you a question that you covered in the Real Work Hub or covered in the email, you should not answer it. Because the first time you answer it, it's all over. Because they know that they don't need to look at the document. They don't need to do it. They can just ask you when they see you. And so then you're going to get the entire team coming and asking you all the time. And like, why did you do it in the first place? So super important that you make sure that you are consistent with this and it feels funny. And you can even just own that. I know it sounds crazy, but you need to go back to that document. Just own it and they'll use it. And once they start using it, then there'll be momentum, and then they know to look there first for answers. So I can't wait to hear how this goes. Next week, super excited, and those of you that I've been working with are probably sick to death already of hearing me talk about micro-learning, so I am going to talk to you about micro-learning next week, and how that fits into adult learning and professional development. Can't wait for that. So as always, please like and share. It really, really helps us, and it helps to make sure that other people get to see these videos, and hopefully the people that plan your meetings get to see these videos. So #StopBadMeetings. And as I always say at the end of the pep talk, if you are lucky enough to have this gorgeous day off, please do not work all day. Please don't work all day. Enjoy it. I will talk to you next week.